everyone. So today I'm just gonna show a quick little method or tip and trick that we have in order to create a possible boundary around one of your drawings, or maybe you want to create like a radius around it, or like a circle, or just a hallway, for example, that we'll do here in this example. It really doesn't matter. It's just anything that requires creating a boundary a certain distance from all parts of a drawing. This tool can be used for that. So I'm using the 2023 version of AutoCAD. You guys can probably use anything else. Should work perfectly fine with the older versions. This is not a relatively new method, but it is a method that goes a little unknown to the vast majority of beginners. So it's definitely a useful thing to know. So basically, yeah, let's get started. Basically, what we're gonna do here is that we want to create a boundary or a hallway around all of these individual boxes, or what we'll call them rooms in this case. So let's say this is one room right here. We want to create a hallway surrounding the entirety of this whole thing. So what most people will do, and they don't realize, is that this is a really tedious way to do it. But basically create a line here. For example, let's put 100 as a distance, and then you'll set it up. You'll create a line, and then you'll go back here. Set it. This is another 100. Not the wrong side. Okay, 100, and then another line. Connect this to that. You got the offset, but now you got to do that for all of this, and that's just absolutely. I don't even want to think about that. That's absolutely terrible. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bypass that, and we're gonna use this tool right here called the offset tool. So what this basically does is that you just put in a specified value of what you want to offset from a certain distance from that object, and it'll create an offset surrounding 360 degrees of that entire object. So let's put in our distance 100 again, and now we select this, and as you guys can see, now it's created an offset. And the good thing about this is that we don't have to do it continuously for all these things. We just, offset, 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 and there. So now we created an offset of the same distance, uniform distance around all these various objects. And like the other method using the line would have taken absolutely forever. So once we're done that, what we're gonna do is that now we're gonna exit auto offset tool, and we're gonna go to this tool right here called the trim function. And what this is basically gonna allow us to do is just delete whatever little segment we want here. The cool thing about the trim tool is that instead of actually identifying the object as a whole, like for example, I made these rooms using the rectangle tool, and outside the trim tool, that's recognized as one whole object. You can't just cut one section of it. You can't just delete one line. You would have to delete the entire rectangle. But what the trim tool does is that it just understands that there's intersecting lines with other objects, and it'll create each one of those intersecting lines as a separate line that you can get rid of. So what this is going to do is going to help us create a really clean boundary, and it's going to help us get rid of all these intersecting lines that is just creating a mess, and let us focus on what we need, that is the surrounding area. So what we'll do is start by trimming that, trimming that, trimming that, and as you can see, now we've created a little nicer border around this green that we have here. And so now what you can do is you can do offset. You can trim that, trim that, trim that, trim that. And there's two ways to actually do it. So I mean, you can go around selecting each object, or the better way is actually you just hold the line, and you can get rid of all this unnecessary stuff that we don't need. Just cut through all these things. And so there, as you guys can see, now we're starting to assemble a boundary that kind of looks like what we need. Offset 1.5, or not 1.5, 100 from the object itself. So let's just do a little more here. Gonna quickly do this so you guys don't get bored listening to me. Yeah, so as you guys can see now, we've created this nice clean border. I mean, look how much time we saved. The other way method we're taking forever using the line and offsetting from each point, and this just allows us to basically uh, exercise our whole process of creating these boundaries. I mean, you can basically use it for anything. Um, there's a lot of different use cases for this combination of the offset tool and the trim tool. I mean, it's a really valuable piece of information that everybody should probably know because it's so useful in all the variety of drawings that you'll be doing or anything else of the sorts. So I guess one other thing that I can help you guys here with is that if you ever want to actually kind of maybe you don't want to use a trim tool or you don't want to do all that, you just want to have all these things as separate lines. Of course, we can't do that right now because this is set as a rectangle, right? So in order to fix that problem, what we can do is we're going to go here and select this explode tool. And what this basically does is that you select a certain predefined object that we've created, like this rectangle. You select it, press enter. So now what this allows us to do is treat each one of the sides as its own separate entity. So now we don't have to worry about, us destroying the entire rectangle if we want to get rid of just that side. So now we can just delete that side. Or if you want to bring it back, we can bring it back. So I mean, it allows for a lot of different customizability and just a lot of, a variety and options to create whatever you want. And you can select the entire thing, you can explode it. And so now, as you can see, we have all these different individual lines that we can work with, stretch, shorten, or modify whatever way we want them. And yeah, I mean, I guess that's all I have for you guys right now. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I hope you guys learned something. Appreciate it. Bye.